Hey there, my friends, and welcome to the last quarter moon episode of Tarot for the Soul. My name is Carrie, and this is a weekly energy update and activation for the collective. In case you haven't noticed, we definitely are in the midst of some sort of like push-pull kind of energy happening this week. I'm going to talk just a little bit about how this is shaping up on the astrological levels, but then I'm going to dive into how the messages are actually channeling through. So astrologically speaking, this last quarter moon is happening in the sign of Aries, and we want to remember that the last quarter phase of each lunar cycle is always a time that brings us into a space of consideration where we're reflecting upon the intentions that we had set for ourselves during the new moon, looking into how things manifested, and now with this last quarter moon phase, it's about really realizing what aspects of our overarching intentions have manifested, what aspects are maybe ready to be brought into completion, or what wants to fall away, but then also what wants to harmonize, anchor, stabilize in preparation for moving forward. So we're going to be looking into those components today. With the last quarter moon happening in the sign of Aries, this is really supporting an energy of like tying up loose ends, getting things done. We also have Mars in Leo opposing Saturn in Aquarius. We have the moon squaring the sun. And there's several different aspects happening throughout this next week or so that are activating the energy of Chiron, which can have the effect of triggering old wounds, but my sense psychically is that it's more of like an opportunity to see how far we've grown. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into the clairvoyant visions that I'm having in regard to the energy that's unfolding over the course of the next week from the space of this last quarter moon. And then we'll get into the cards as usual. As I said, it's really sort of like a push-pull type of energy. The way it's showing itself to me in my mind's eye, it's like the archer who's pulling back his arrow, aiming in preparation for hitting a target, which also reminds me of the Warrior Two pose in yoga. So the Warrior Two pose, Virabhadrasana 2, is all about precision of focus in alignment with your intention. And the astrological aspects that are happening this week are certainly conducive to supporting us in this way. So right now, we're all in this time where we're feeling a little bit of an angst and an energy to get on with normal life, obviously. And we find ourselves in this space of reconsidering, reviewing, perhaps renewing the intentions that we had originally set for ourselves a little bit more than a year ago when everything that's happening in the world first started happening. The energies now are inviting us to dial in those intentions a little bit more. Maybe there's aspects of those intentions that we had set that we have achieved and that we don't need to keep focusing on them. Maybe some of those intentions were just based out of habitual patterns of living, and now we find that we're not really in that same space right now, and that we might choose a new focus, a new path for ourselves. And this is a part of that push-pull energy. It's a part of that pulling back of the arrow. So there's a tension, right? Where we have all these things that we're aspiring towards doing, but yet the energies are not right now conducive to fully launching into action. However, this Mars in Leo opposing Saturn is a blessing in disguise in the way that it gives us an opportunity, as I said, to reconsider. Do I really, really want to continue to align my intentions in the direction of what I thought I was going to be ambitioning towards at this time in my life? Or am I feeling guided towards a new path. And so this pullback tension energy gives us that space to reconsider, but then it also gives us the space to take care of what we need to take care of in the realm of tying up loose ends, taking care of details, setting the space and foundation that we do need for growth in regard to ultimately whatever direction it is that we do decide for ourselves. So psychically, it feels like the best use of our energy this week is gonna be through staying tapped into your inner guidance, paying attention to those aspects of yourself that are compelling you in the direction of some reconsiderations. We definitely don't want to ignore those little pangs of awareness that are happening within us that might be compelling us in new directions. So in regard to further guidance that's channeling through the cards today, I felt guided to use my Endoras fortune cards. This is a deck that I just recently got about a month ago, and I'm really enjoying working with it. I'll put a link in the description below as to where you can get this directly, quick and easy, on Amazon. And the tarot spread that I'm doing today specifically is for the last quarter phase of the moon. So we're going to look at what's clearing away, what's being released or fading away. Where is there a harmonization or a balance that's happening? Where is there an energy that is taking root that will sprout into growth in moving forward? And then we're going to look at whatever the overall guidance from Spirit is. So let me go ahead and select some cards here. And here's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So the first card that we're going to look at is representing what's clearing away, what's being released. The card that's showing up is showing up reversed, which I'll speak of in a moment. The card is called the Spirit card. And the caption at the bottom of the card says, "Unseen forces watch over you." So in the reverse position, I would say what's being released is anything that has been cluttering your ability to feel really tapped in to higher guidance or inner guidance. This is a time to let yourself, maybe through meditation or other practices that you personally do that support a renewed depth of connection with your inner being, your soul. This is a really good use of that moon in Aries energy. Aries is fire energy. And so you may want to do a more active form of meditation, which could even look like hiking, walking, yoga, things of that nature. But the message in this card definitely is about noticing and paying attention to how Spirit is showing up for you, guiding you, and supporting you. That energy is always available to us. It's always here, but we don't always know it and we don't always feel connected to it. So releasing anything that is an obstruction to you being able to clearly access that higher guidance or inner guidance. Typically, the main thing that makes us feel blocked from our inner guidance is the mind being overactive. Tension, stress, anxiety, too many thoughts going on. So it's like getting out of your head into your heart space, into your soul, into your spirit, into your body is definitely like the solution that's going to enable us to clear away that which is obstructing our sense of connection to Spirit. The next card that we're looking at is saying what's harmonizing, what's balancing, what's integrating. And this card is also coming up reversed, which I'll talk about the meaning of that. But the card is called the Maiden, and it says that a new relationship blossoms. In the reverse position, in regard to that which is balancing, harmonizing, to me, In the very least, it says that the new relationship that's blossoming is with ourselves, right? Really fine-tuning your focus of intention will support a deeper relationship with ourselves. Now, there can also be residual aspects of this that may look like cutting the ties, cutting the cords of dynamics, relationships, situations that don't feel aligned with us. That's a part of that letting go energy that happens with the last quarter moon cycle. One way or another, we all have the ability to enrich our soul connection with ourselves through honoring our inner guidance, even if that means cutting the ties of situations, people, relationships that we intuitively know on a soul level are not aligned with us. The next card that's coming up is looking into what's taking root, what's grabbing hold in ways that can blossom into manifestation, perhaps with the next new moon cycle that we're coming into in another week or so. This card's also showing up reversed, and again, I'll talk about that in a moment, but it's the Knight, and the little caption at the bottom says, triumph over adversity. We're definitely seeing adversity going on around the world in many different forms right now. And when I'm looking at this card, the primary color of this card is red, which reminds me of that Mars in Leo energy. Mars is a fire sign, Leo is a fire sign. And when you put those two together, it is a strong, impactful, charging forward type of energy. Again, this energy is opposing Saturn in Aquarius, which is about rules, regulations, as it relates to community structures. In regard to what's showing up, the triumph over adversity, it feels like we're being all guided individually to resolve what might be an inner sense of conflict within ourselves, which is what the reversal is about. So going back to the messages that came up about adjusting our course, refining our focus in the direction of what feels like our true aims and ambitions, is the strategy to take that will enable us all to remedy, harmonize that which might right now feel in discord within ourselves. Also, it's a message about our approach to life, right? So with all that fire energy that's going on, it's not always the best idea to just bulldoze your way through life. You want to kind of hold back a little bit, take the reins of the horse, so to speak, and guide yourself forward with consciousness. So the best way to navigate through the energy is what the next card is talking about, and it's the Sun card. And it's so interesting, the little caption at the bottom of this card says, your perseverance is rewarded. So the Sun card is all about life force, vitality, rebirth, renewal, expansion, epiphanies of awareness that enable us to confidently move forward. So it's worth it to give yourself a space and time this week to really just settle into listening to your inner guidance, because that's what's going to bridge the gap between where you thought you were going and where you actually feel like applying your energies in the now. Take the time to tune in, listen. The perseverance energy is really connected to, if you look close at this card, at the bottom of the sun motif, there's a scarab. I know through my Egyptian connection that scarabs do represent perseverance, transformation and eternal life. Right now, in the now, it might feel like one step forward, two steps back, but in the long run, it feels like in a very short period of time, within the next few months, we're going to be able to look back and retrospect and recognize how far we've come through being willing to really commit ourselves to honoring that true inner guidance that's speaking to all of us right now. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I so enjoy being connected with all of you here. And stay tuned. There's more videos right around the corner. Blessings, much love, and namaste.